So lay on your right side with your head on a thin pillow or blanket. Let your knees be bent at around hip level, left arm laying on your left side. And then lift your left arm up towards the ceiling and stretch it over your head before you raise it up and rest it back along your side. Repeating this simple movement a few times just to notice how it feels in your shoulder, feeling the rotation of your shoulder, noticing how your hand turns to face up or down as your arm moves, and trying your best to remain relaxed through your neck. You might even notice a bit of a stretch into the side of your body. So let's accelerate that stretch a little bit by straightening the top leg as your arm reaches back behind your head or overhead. You can stretch through your top leg in line with your hip and your head. Notice the breath moving a little deeper into your left side. And now bend your top knee once again over your bottom knee and bring your left arm out in front of you. So without letting your spine or ribs rotate, lift your arm up towards the ceiling, then slightly back behind you. And so only let your arm go back as far as it can without turning your ribs, your head, your chest in that direction. Just feeling the movement in the shoulder. You might notice a stretch come into the front of that shoulder, the front of your chest, maybe even the side of your neck. So just notice what you feel. And then you can pause with the arm stretching gently back. And feel free to move the wrist. You can bend it back and push gently through the heel of your hand. And that will increase the stretch in your forearm. So now you can practice that same movement of your arm, but this time let your spine and your head be part of the movement. So as your arm moves behind you to the left, now let your spine turn as far to the left as it feels comfortable. And just do your best to try to keep your hips stacked. So you're really just feeling the movement now, sort of through the waist, the ribs, the chest, the head, and of course the shoulder. And now begin to trace a big circle with your arm. So imagine you're in the center of a clock, 12 o'clock being behind your head. So you're here resting on your right side, turning your head to the left as the arm sweeps out to the left. So you're going in a clockwise movement with that left arm, coming in and out of the twist a few times, loosening up into the spine. Then when you're ready to stay into the twist, find as much support as you can across your upper back so you can shift your shoulders a little bit here, relaxing them towards the floor. Then you can remove the pillow out from under the head and you might place it between the knees if you notice some tension in the side of your hip and thigh. Or you can place it underneath the knees if you notice some tension or pulling in your back. So wherever you are, try to feel the release of your head. If it's comfortable in your neck, you can turn your head a little to the left. And notice the movements of your breath here, maybe a little more prominently into your left side. So follow the depth of your inhale down into your belly, into your lower back. And with each exhale, try to relax a little further out through your left shoulder and into your left hand and fingers. And when you're ready to come out, roll back onto your right side, then onto your back again. You can place the pillow under your head and feel free to hug your knees into your chest, rocking a little side to side to massage into the lower back. And then roll onto your left side, bending your knees again at around hip height. Let the left arm rest on the floor in front of you at shoulder height. Start with your right arm resting along your side before you lift it up towards the ceiling, then stretch it over your head, raising it up and resting it back along your side. So repeating this movement, noticing how it feels in this shoulder, and trying to just find your own comfortable range of motion. So if the arm doesn't want to go too far overhead or close to the head, that's perfectly fine. Try not to force any movement that isn't there, doing your best to keep your neck relaxed. And then as you keep your arms stretched gently overhead, straighten your top leg along the floor in line with your hips and head. So now you can feel more of a stretch into the right side of your body, from your foot to your hand. Notice whether you can feel the breath moving into your right side a little more. And then once again, bend your top knee above your bottom knee. Rest your top hand on your bottom hand in front of you at around shoulder height. And once more, without letting your spine or ribs rotate, lift your top arm up towards the ceiling, then slightly back behind you. Noticing how far back you can go before your ribs and your chest want to turn. So trying to feel the movement, the range of motion you have in your shoulder. And then next time you can pause with the arm stretching gently back behind you. Again, trying not to turn with the arm, but as you're here, feel free to bend your wrist back, pressing gently through the heel of your hand, maybe even spreading the fingers, doing a few circles into the wrists. So now practice the same movement of your arm, but again, now this time let your spine and your head be part of the movement. So as your arm moves behind you to the right, let your spine rotate as far to the right as it feels comfortable, doing your best to keep your hips and your knees stacked. Feeling the rotation now through your spine as your arm moves as well. And then begin to, again, trace a big circle with your arm. So now, imagining you're in the center of that clock as your arm sweeps back to 12 o'clock, opening to 9 o'clock, down towards your hips at 6 o'clock, back onto your left side to repeat the movement. So your arm goes in a counterclockwise direction, rotating through the shoulder, rotating through the spine. And then when you're ready, resting with both shoulders as close to the floor as you can let them be. Finding as much support as you can across your upper back, shifting around as you need to, and feeling free to place the pillow again either between the knees or under the knees for a little extra comfort there in your hips or lower back. So you might notice a little more space into your right side, so let the breath fill that space, relaxing a little more with each exhale down into the ground. And notice whether you're holding on to any tension in your neck, so whether your neck is more comfortable centered or turned slightly to the right, try to let go of the head's full weight. Letting the right shoulder rest and relax down towards the ground, softening out into your fingers. And then when you're ready, roll back onto your left side and then take your time to get comfortable on your back, centered on your mat, nice and comfortable, feeling free to rest your hands on your belly and just notice the effects of this practice in your body, on your breath. Notice how you feel, how the breath moves as you let your body relax.